What's up, Blue Diamond fam, and welcome to another video. Cowboys Nation, hot damn. 34 Minnesota Vikings and 26 Dallas Cowboys, man. If you guys enjoy this type of content, we're fixing to get into it. Make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the video. Alright, Blue Diamond fam, Cowboys Nation. Last night was not a good showing of what we can do at all. Between the Minnesota Vikings and my Dallas Cowboys. Our Dallas Cowboys, I guess my Dallas Cowboys, know a lot of you are probably haters and wanted to see us lose. But that's neither here nor there. Let's get into it. So, off rip, I think second play during the game, there's one recorded interception by Quinnen Williams. When it happened, it didn't even look like Quinnen Williams even knew what the fuck was going on. Threw his hands up, happened to have the ball in his hands, and then he got taken to the ground. And then from there, it was like a 3-and-out, acting like we were gonna take a field goal. What happens? Surprise, fake field goal attempt from Brandon Aubrey to get that first down. And as we're pushing into the goal line, thinking it was another 3-and-out, we had the chance to get another first. Dak takes it himself and then gets a whole new set of downs, which then took us a few attempts to run it in, and then we eventually punched it in. Good start, I guess, to the game. It looked very promising, but then J.J. McCarthy, man. J.J. McCarthy. And I don't even know why this has been a thing this season. Obviously, our defense is trash. We know this. There was 3 games, the 3 games being the Raiders, Eagles, and Chiefs, where our defense actually seemed like they had some liveliness to it, some grit. Looked like it completely reformed into something different with the addition of Quinnen Williams, Logan Wilson, Savone Revel, Demarion Overshone, Clowney, Kenny Clark, etc. It looked like we had a whole new defense, but then last week's game, week 13 against the Lions, or maybe it was 14. Yeah, week 14 against the Lions. Sorry about that. We just completely, excuse my French, shit the bed. And it's one thing that I noticed, and I've noticed this over the past few seasons. Once the Cowboys start getting going, the media portrays us like, oh, they're gonna do it. It should be a clean sweep. They should be able to do this. And they start talking about Cowboys in the media, and they won't take our names out of their mouth. And then that puts us on a really high pedestal, and for some reason that game ends up not being it. But to be honest, since the Raiders game and then looking at the schedule of what we had, I was worried about the Eagles. I was worried about the Chiefs, because you never know. You know, Patrick Mahomes has that Mahomes magic, you know. And then the Lions. The Lions was the big game I was worried about. And then the game that I am worried about, but now it probably doesn't even matter, is the Chargers. So I think the Chargers are the second team after us to beat whoever they beat or lost to before they played the Eagles game. They beat the Eagles to push right into playing the Kansas City Chiefs and beating them too. They're the second team that I know of that has done this after the Dallas Cowboys. But in retrospect, this is the first time in NFL history that the Cowboys have played 5 teams or more back to back to back to back in 5 weeks that have that they initially made the playoffs last season. So our quote unquote gauntlet. And we're 2 for 2 right now. So we beat the Eagles, the Chiefs, lost to the Lions, and we just lost to the Vikings. What does this mean? Well, I'll tell you what this means. This means that the Eagles need to lose the rest of their remaining games. Not going to happen. Who do they have next? They have Washington, then they have the Bills, then they have Washington again. I don't see them. They might lose to the Bills. Who knows? If they get their second wind, which kind of looks like it. But that's what is irritating. It's like when we beat the Raiders or we're starting to look good, it's like, oh, you beat a 2-11, 2-12 team. At the time, I think they were 2-9, something like that. But it's just the Raiders. It's just the Raiders. And then, okay, next week pulls up. We play the Eagles. We beat them 24-21. Oh, that was your guys' Super Bowl. That wasn't even a game. really. That game means nothing. Okay. Next week pulls up, we beat the Chiefs, and then you guys are like, okay, don't mean anything though. Check the record. That's what's annoying with these Eagles fans, bro. Just because we were your in division rival and you're our biggest challenge every season. We play you twice a year. We usually win one and lose one. Last year, I think you guys won both. That's just because Jalen Hurts and his MFing super squad. It makes no sense, bro. It's like, I get being rivals or whatever, but I can say as a Cowboys fan and a Cowboys supporter, I honestly could give a shit. It's football, bro. Shit happens. But to sit here and be like, oh, it's just the Raiders, and then whenever you guys lose 3 in a row, then you guys play the Raiders, and you guys are like, oh yeah, we fuck whoop their ass, blah blah blah. You're supposed to beat the Raiders' ass. They're trash. That O-line don't hold up for nothing. That D-line minus Max Crosby, because it seemed like Max Crosby, literally you're just playing Max Crosby at that point. Just keep it away from his side of the line and you're good. Saquon still didn't do nothing. Jalen Hurts only had, like, matter of fact, let's fact check it real quick. And you could bring up the thing of like, oh, Jalen Hurts did what he needed to do, so we took him out in the fourth quarter. Out of here with that. Miss me with that bullshit. Because where was that during this past Super Bowl? So Jalen Hurts on 15 attempts completed 12 passes for 175 yards, 3 touchdowns. And then on 22 attempts rushing, Saquon only got 78 yards, 1 touchdown, and that was a 2-yard touchdown at that. His longest run was 17 yards. So I don't understand why the Eagles fans are so hyped up over this win, because you guys literally scored 1 touchdown in the first quarter, 2 in the second quarter, and then 1 of each from the third and fourth. Because honestly, you guys didn't even do shit. Like, the Raiders didn't really score anything. Literally didn't have a score. You guys have 31. You guys are so good. I would have expected a bigger separation than that. Whether your backup's in, your backup QB, or all of your backups, and you guys take the starters out. But I digress. Let's get back into this. All right, on the Vikings side, J.J. McCarthy, out of 24 attempts, he had 15 completions for 250 yards for 62.5 completion percentage, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, a rating of 108. And then Aaron Jones, 34 yards on 12 attempts, a long of 16 yards. And then another rushing stat could be J.J. McCarthy's 15 yards on 4 attempts, a long of 8 yards. Addison had 2 receiving catches for 66 yards on 2 targets, a long of 58. That's what really helped him. Hawkinson, 4 receiving catches for 66 yards on 5 targets, 29 yards on his long. Naylor, 3 receiving catches for 47 yards on 5 targets. Aaron Jones on 3 receiving catches, 31 yards, 3 targets. Jay Jefferson, 2 receiving catches for 22 yards. Now, I did mention at the start of this video, it was, I think, the second play. I forgot who got in J.J. McCarthy's face, but as he attempted to throw at Justin Jefferson, it got knocked and went straight to the line of scrimmage, and it ended up coming down. And Quinnen Williams for the Cowboys ended up grabbing it. He looked kind of lost. Everything happened so fast. But ever since then, we were able to turn it around and score within the first few minutes. But then after that, it got nasty, man. It was a hard watch. Obviously, whenever your team plays, you expect them to play well. This whole season's been weird, except for a few teams like Chicago, as you see right there. Green Bay is doing good. The Lions were Minnesota, they're already eliminated. And that's another thing I wanted to talk about. Before this game, you guys pull up with the news that you guys are eliminated from the playoffs. Okay, so Coach McConnell, I think that's his name. Can't remember off the top. If I'm right, then I'm right. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. I'm not going to take the time to look up a coach. But while it's fresh in my mind, yeah, you guys are eliminated from the playoffs before you even start this game. So what does the coach really want to do? He wants to see who his quarterback is that's going to lead his team next season and for this foreseeable future. So I get that. He wants to throw J.J. McCarthy out there to bombs away and see what you can do with all this pressure that the Cowboys can give you or whatnot. But why try to make a statement? And this is just me defending my boys, my pride little hurt, But why try to make a statement when you're already eliminated from the playoffs versus a team that it's win or go home? Like, we have to win out. And you come in here, you could win the rest of your season. Nothing's going to change. The NFC North is stacked right now. You got Chicago 10-4, Green Bay 9-4, Detroit 8-6, and you're sitting at a measly, at the time, 5-8. Now 6-8, right? But at the same time, flip the coin. Realistic fan here. Cowboys. You guys had everything going for you, bro. You can watch these interviews like I did with Coach Schottenheimer and Dak Prescott, and you can sit here and be like, oh, they had that cover zero. You know, they blitzed a lot. Last time I checked, Vikings were number 1 in pass rush or rushing, making sure the quarterback is under pressure, blitzing. Last time I checked, they were number one at doing that in the league. So you knew what was coming. They're a 5-8 football team. Like, what did you expect them to do? Because if they didn't get eliminated today or before y'all played, they would have been fighting their hearts out too. And watching this game, it seemed like we got no heart. The D-line is nice with it. I'll give the Cowboys that, man. Our D-line, with the addition of Quinnen Williams next to Kenny Clark, you got Solomon Thomas. Who else we got? Odigizua. Can't forget about my boy. You got Clowney at the end. His first game back. He's dependable, but he's not. He missed 3 games, and it was very felt. He does make a difference. He is inconsistent, but at the same time, he makes quarterbacks feel pressure, and that's what we need when it comes to playing these games. The performance was pitiful, man. And the number 1 star player on the team, you probably guess who I'm talking about, did not come through for us when we needed him most. Making it sound like he's the avatar of some crazy noise. But Brandon Aubrey, man, let's go look at his stuff real quick. Here we go. On 6 field goal attempts, he made 4. I think 2 of those were just from scoring. He missed a 59, and it doesn't tell me what else he missed. I forget what it was. He missed a 59 and a 46 or something. And it looked weird because it looked like it was straight, but not at the goal. At the field goal, it was like straight diagonal. His kicking, it looked weird, man. I know he's gonna fix it next game, and then next season he'll be better. But he missed more field goals this game than he has the whole season. And if he would have made those 2, he went 6 for 6. That's 6 points. That would have put us 32-34. That'd have been 32-34 if he would have made those kicks. And pressure would have been on JJ. We'd have been able to see if he actually could get up and do something. But unfortunately, we're talking woulda, shoulda, coulda, and we could say we could have done this, we should have done that. Well, don't you think that if we could have, we would have? Well, we tried. And apparently the Dak Prescott and the Vikings cover zero, it inhibited him to be able to do anything. And he got sacked twice, but he didn't even really attempt to bomb downfield. I don't know if it was because they were like fake blitzing, where they would show like 6-7 man front and then back off as soon as it snapped to try to double up in the backfield or what. But he didn't even really attempt to go downfield. Dak Prescott on 38 attempts completed 23 for 294 yards, completion percentage of 60.5, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Would have been 1 right up there at the end, towards the end at least, but it got bobbled. And anyways, 2 sacks, and then the rating of 84.8. Williams, 15 attempted rushing for 91 yards, 1 touchdown, long of 21 yards. Malik Davis, on 8 attempts, he had 21 yards, 1 touchdown. Hunter Lipke, on 3 attempts, he had 16 yards. He actually looked pretty good, if I don't say so myself. He looked pretty good. There's one time that he I didn't even see that play come. I thought I was going to go to the running back, but they fed it to the fullback, and he shot through almost for the first down, but I think we still went 3 and out. He was just short of the first down. And then Brandon Aubrey on 1 attempt got 6 yards for a first down. That was a good play. I did not see that coming. I don't think anybody saw that coming. That was the first time we've done it all season. I'll tell you, boy, whenever Brandon Aubrey did that fake kick for the field goal and tucked it and ran for the first down, I was like, okay, got some liveliness. It was like the first quarter we were super live, man, and then it was just dead silent after that. For Receiving, CeeDee Lamb on 10 targets, got 6 receiving catches for 111 yards, a long of 30 yards, and a yak of 27. Flournoy on 5 targets, caught 4 for 40 yards. Pickens on 6 targets, he caught 3 for 33 yards. Schoonmaker had a nice ass one-handed catch that like Dak jumped over, like Dak was going to take off and then saw Schoonmaker standing right there, sitting there like this. So he jumped over a player that was rushing him and kind of threw into the hit, and Schoonmaker reached his hand out, caught it by the tip. It was a nice catch. But Schoonmaker on 1 target, he got that 1 receiving catch for 29 yards and for the long of 29 yards and a yak of 23. This stands out to me because I was thinking about it this morning. Jake Ferguson. I don't remember seeing Jake Ferguson at all in the game. I thought he was out. I thought he was hurt. But yeah, Jake Ferguson on 4 targets. He had 2 receiving for 16 yards. Look at that interception. Quinnen Williams, 1 interception. But yeah, guys, this game was trash. What does this mean for the Cowboys? Well, the wild card spot is most likely out of the picture. So with hopes of reaching the playoffs, now the Cowboys have big ol' 1% chance of making the playoffs. Are they out? No. What needs to happen to even catch the Eagles and clinch the division now? We must win out. But let me check real quick. All I'm doing right now is I am looking at next week's game for the Eagles, because this all depends on them if we make it or not. 12/20. When is that? Oh, is that the Saturday game? Yeah, so this Saturday, December 20th, 2025, week 16, at Commanders. For the Cowboys to clinch the division now, we must win against the Chargers, against the Commanders, and then to finish it off, we must win against the Giants. We have to win out. We have to win out. And that means for the Eagles, they must lose against Washington, the Buffalo Bills, and to end their season, and then the most likely going to push into the postseason, Washington Commanders. So they need to lose their next 3 games, and we need to win our next 3 games. That's the most if question, because everybody thought that the Cowboys were going to win this damn game. I didn't see this coming until about halfway through the 3rd quarter. We're playing like shit. But other things that need to happen. So the Bears, instead of losing their next 2 or 3 games, they also need to lose the last 3 games of their season, as well as Green Bay and as well as the Seahawks. And then at that point, the 49ers, they look good, but they would need to do that also. And then the Lions as well, but they're not really doing much. The team that possibly could lose the rest of their games that I have recorded, looks like the Bears, 49ers, and the Seahawks would probably maybe lose 2 of their next 3. As it stands now, I have a little board where this light is coming from. I have teams that I have like checkmark boxes against who they go against, and X or check mark if they win those games. But as of right now, that's what needs to happen. Are they eliminated yet? No. Officially, realistically, Cowboys Nation, yeah, season's done. But who knows? That 1%, there's still 3 more weeks of football of the regular season. Maybe it gets turned upside its head and somehow we sneak up in there. Now, I'm going to take a breather. If we were to sneak into the playoffs somehow, if the season unraveled within these next 3 games and we go crazy, everybody does poorly, which isn't going to happen because I needed certain teams to lose yesterday, and every time I say I need this team to lose, they end up winning, so I'm going to quit saying that shit. But somehow, if we sneak into these playoffs, it would be an amazing Cinderella story. It's like, oh, you started off like shit. You ended like shit. Somehow you still snuck into the playoffs and you won the damn thing. That's a cool what if thought. Realistically, it's not going to happen. But if you guys like this kind of content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell if you guys want to stay on top of the videos that are dropping. I still got more Cowboys content and NFL content coming. I'm going to be covering some other games that happened yesterday. Not all of them. That would take all day. Editing is a bitch. But stay tuned for the next video, and I'll see you guys like always in the next video.